The project we're going to tackle today is upgrading the stereo, the infotainment system on this Skoda Citigo. This is a 2015 approximately Skoda Citigo, and this is the black edition that originally came with the Garmin dash mounted interface, which allows Bluetooth connectivity, gives you sat nav, a couple of other things that aren't frankly very useful. The problem is that the radio is FM only, there's no digital, and that's a nuisance. Also, the Bluetooth connectivity to the phone is not incredibly reliable, and most importantly, the Garmin is a theft risk. Even if you disconnect the Garmin and put it in the glove box, people know that drivers do that, and they can break in, and it's very easy for them to steal them, of course. So what we've done is we've installed a blanking plate on the dashboard over the point where the Garmin normally sits. This is the official VW blanking plate, and so the idea is that once this upgrade is done, we won't need to carry the Garmin at all in the car, and hopefully potential thieves will think that the system was never installed. The system that we're going to be fitting is a pure Highway 600, which gives you, over the Highway 400, it has the benefit that it gives you the microphone connection. So you have full Bluetooth interaction with your phone, you can make phone calls, and it's generally regarded, it seems in reviews, as being a very good system, very reliable on digital radio, finding stations and holding them, and the connection to the phone, the interface seems to be well regarded. I mean, Pure generally I think are regarded as a fairly high quality manufacturer, so it's not the cheapest system, but at the same time it's not ridiculously expensive in view of the functionality it gives. So we're going ahead and fitting that. So we're actually part way through the project, as you can see. We've currently stripped out a lot of the lower parts of the dashboard, which gives us the best access for doing reasonable quality wiring and hiding all of the cables as much as possible behind the dashboard, so the system looks as well as you can possibly achieve, as if it's fully integrated. The point that effectively is the starting point for all of this is what you might call the brain of the system, which Pure call the antenna, but effectively all of the brain is in there, and then this head unit, which is just battery powered and communicates by Bluetooth to the brain antenna, that just sits on a sticky pad on the dashboard in your chosen location, wherever you want to put it, and this gives you all of your control. As an addition to this upgrade package that we're doing with the Pure Highway system, we also wanted to improve mobile phone location within the car. It's large, well, it's very much frowned on, and I think it's soon going to become law in the UK that you can't even hold a mobile phone in your hand while you're driving. So naturally we felt it was better, and it's generally a more logical thing to do anyway, to get the phone properly located in the vehicle so that you can see it, but you don't have to hang on to it in order to do anything. And so what we've done is to fit a Brodit system, which is designed specifically for the VW Up Skoda Citigo Seat Me series of vehicles, which are effectively all the same vehicles, just with different badges and price tags. And this is a combination of the Brodit arm, which attaches onto the trim, the A-pillar trim, and then you screw onto that the relevant Brodit holder that you need for the particular phone model that you have. So that gives a very nice firm hold for the mobile phone. And then because we were wanting to integrate this system as much as possible, make it look neat, we've also installed a USB port just down at the edge of the dashboard. I'll just get another picture of that. So as we come around to the driver's side, now you can see, obviously we've removed this trim panel. There would normally be a trim panel here, but what we've done is to sink a little USB port into the trim here, and then you only need a short USB cable just to go up to where the underside of the phone will be, and we're hoping that this is all going to look pretty neat. One point to mention now is that, while we're here looking at it, is that the Pure Go system clearly needs to be powered, and it's powered by a cigarette mounted USB port which comes in the kit from Pure, and it has two ports on it. So the rear one that you can see is currently connected to the highway, the brain up on the screen. The cable goes all the way through the dashboard, and the front USB is connected through here to this USB socket. One of the reasons that I wanted to mount this is just a very cheap aftermarket cigarette lighter socket, and that's what's then wired into the power supply that we're using, and I've cable tied it here because this seems to us to be a potential point of weakness. This could fail after years of use, this little transformer, and consequently having it sitting behind this panel, which is very easy to remove, means that if you have a power supply problem, you can just pull this panel off and you've got direct access to the power transformer, and you can change it out very easily. Another point was that the length of the cable between here and this socket was very short, so it's particularly convenient to have it here. One thing that we forgot to mention at the time is that you want to make sure you have good access to that USB connector, even if you buried it under the dashboard, because if you want to upgrade the antenna brain, and Pure issue regular upgrades for that, and indeed we had to do that as soon as we connected up the Pure Go app. It said please upgrade, and when you do that you have to get hold of the USB connector and plug it into a Windows laptop. So if you're burying it under the dash like this, you want to make sure that it's somewhere that's easily accessible. One thing to mention is that we've been using the genuine Skoda workshop manual, which is, you can buy these online, just as a digital file, and it's a fully searchable PDF, and it really does go into a lot of detail. I mean, this is the Skoda branded one, but of course the VW and Seat versions will just be the same with different badges on them, and this really does give you, as long as you're prepared to search through to find what you need, it's a big document, but it tells you how to remove every panel, and clearly you can see we have removed a lot of panels, but we've done it all using the manual, and it goes into full detail where every attachment, every screw is, every procedure, and it's very, very clear. And in fact, once you know how all of these trim panels come undone, the only thing you need to get them undone is a Torx driver, just a fairly standardly available, that's not focusing, okay, take my word for that, that's a standard Torx driver, and you just need some plastic wedges of different designs, very cheaply available online again, for levering the parts apart. I would strongly recommend that you get some of these, because Volkswagen, and let's face it, this is a Volkswagen don't mess around. These trim panels are built they're high quality, a lot of them are double skinned, they're very thick, and in order to start edging them away from their attachment points, you need to put a reasonable amount of force on to start them moving. And if you were doing that with, a screwdriver, there's a fair bet that you damage some of the edges of your trim. Whereas using these plastic units, we don't seem to have damaged anything so far, and we've removed a lot of bits of trim. So get yourself some of these.